This is part 2 of Module B, Unit 2, Lesson 1, notes. Oops, there we go. Okay, so we finished biomimicry in our last section with the spider silk being the example of biomimicry. And then Ben bites into it. This is one of our quick checks. Ben bites into an apple, then chews and swallows the food. Which of Ben's organ systems work together to perform the function of biting, chewing, and swallowing the apple? So that's going to be digestive, muscular, and nervous. Okay? And then we have one of our short answer questions. Explain how the respiratory system and the circulatory system work together to transport oxygen. So explain how the respiratory system and the circulatory system work together to transport oxygen. So the respiratory system breathes in the oxygen and then transfers it to the blood. And then the circulatory system circulates the oxygenated blood throughout the body. Okay, so that's how it works to transport oxygen. To remove wastes, so the circulatory system also circulates the blood to pick up waste, which can be exhaled from the respiratory system. Okay, let me know if you have questions on that one. And then this says the diagram shows 3 types of muscle tissue in an animal's body. Use the information in the diagram to support the argument that a major function of the muscle tissue is to cause movement in different body parts. Okay, so we have the cardiac muscle here that pumps blood through the heart. So that's movement. Movement in the form of a pump. Okay. The skeletal muscle cell, which is going to be your actual muscles attached to your bones, raises and lowers the leg. So that's movement of the organism, the whole thing. Okay. And then smooth muscle cell pushes food through the digestive system. Here, I'll put that over here. So that's the movement of food and waste through the organism's body. So all of this is related to the movement in different parts of the body. And then the last question says, explain why the structure of a brain cell would differ from that of a red blood cell. So the structure of a brain cell looks very much more like it's a neuron, okay? And the purpose of a neuron is to make connections. So the neuron makes connections, and it is shaped almost like a spider, where it has all of these like tentacle out, or octopus or something like that, because it's going to make connections to other neurons. The red blood cell is a transporter. Red blood cell transports oxygen or waste. Transports oxygen. Well, we'll say it transports oxygen. So it needs to look, it looks something like this. It's almost like a little, from the side, it almost looks like a canoe because it's transporting all of these oxygens on it. And that's why the structure is different, because the structure has to match the purpose. What is the purpose of a neuron? To make connections in the brain. What is the purpose of a red blood cell? To transport oxygen. Okay, and I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.